So is it Wednesday? Our Wednesday evening
Yes.
series. See how my week's going?
Uh,
Um, our Wednesday evening series is lead generation. So we've been covering different types of lead generation options. And one of them, the plan this evening is just to touch on business to business referrals. With the thought process being, right, like if I do business with somebody, I should be getting, it should be reciprocal because like if I love my hairdresser, chances are I'm going to refer that hairdresser to other people, right? And create business for that hairdresser. In addition to that, I would like to have a conversation with my hairdresser about then also referring business to me. So can I leave cards in their shop? Can we, right? So we want to think of relationships as reciprocal. And when it comes to like some of our real estate related partners, like let's say a lender, that business to business relationship may not be so much of a referral based business, although it might be, or a referral based relationship. It could be that, well, I'm referring clients to you, and what am I getting in return? Oh, you're going to open houses with me so that it's safety in numbers and I'm not sitting in an open house by myself on the weekends. Like that's what I get from you. Or maybe they help you market your farm, so you're co-branding stuff and they're helping pay for those materials. So for some of our real estate related relationships, it might be a little different than expecting a referral. But I would say for most of our business relationships, we should expect referrals in return for doing business with them and referring them to our friends and family. The same thing in return, those relationships that we build. So that's the theory behind business to business relationships, is just that reciprocal. I'm referring business to you, refer business to me. And we can do that with businesses we already do business with, our doctor's office, our dentist, our hairdresser, the restaurants that we frequent, whatever it might be. If it's there's scripts on the screen. Let me grab the link so I can throw it in the chat box. So give me just a second here. I'm going to copy the link. Anyone with the link is a viewer. All right. And then we're going to go chat. All right. The link for this is in the chat box. So if you want this script, it's in there. But for a referral partnership with business owners that you've done business with, a good script to approach them is like, hey, Sally, remember me? I'm Amy with Realty One Group Fox. I'm in the process of creating a list of preferred business and service providers to give to my clients. Since I frequently have clients ask me for a good hairdresser, right? So we'll just stick with that example. I only want trusted companies to refer them to. And since I have had excellent service from you, would you and your business be interested in being included on that list? Right? Who's going to be like, no, thank you. I would prefer not to be on your list of referral partners. Then it's probably not a good relationship. So for the most part, most people are going to be like, yeah, absolutely. Great. I like to establish these professional referral partnerships to help each other's businesses as well. So if I were to refer clients to you, would you be willing to refer clients that are looking to buy or sell a home to me with the assurance that I'm going to provide them with the highest level of customer service that you expect? And they're going to be like, yeah, that seems reasonable. You're going to refer people to me. I'll refer people to you. They're going to be like, yeah, sure. Perfect. How about we confirm each other's contact information so that we can get started, right? And you can use that with any business that you already currently do business with. Make sense?
yes.
And we're coming at it not just like, hey, I'm giving you business, give me business, but it's, hey, here's what I want to do. I want to put your name on my list of preferred vendors. I'm going to send that out. It goes out to my database. I've got 600 people in that database, or every person that moves to the area, for every house that I close, they get a copy of that vendor list. And I'd like to add you to that. In return, what I would like is that you also refer people to me as well, right? So our goal too, just so you know, anytime we refer people to a place or business, even if it's not like for a lender or whatever, our goal is to have 3 options for them. That way, if somebody's like, hey, Michelle, do you have a plumber that I should call? And you're like, yeah, here's the plumber's name. And then they call that plumber because that's the only one you gave them. And then they have unhappy service with that plumber. they might be like, oh, that plumber you gave me was horrible. Now I hate you too. Versus if we give them a couple of options to choose from, now it's on them who they decided to go with. So our goal is to always try to have at least 3 providers for each area of service that we're going to refer out. That doesn't mean your initial vendor list has to have 3 options in each category, but that should be your goal, is to build it up to that.
So I was writing notes when you're talking about it a little bit. When you talk about a vendor list, you're giving this list to your buyers?
Yeah, you could give this list to anybody in your database, ultimately. Like you could send it out. We actually have this really cool tool in our one login called Move Easy. Actually, it's called Live Easy now. I'll show it to you. And you can actually create a vendor list inside of Live Easy. And it's a really cool system. So you could have a separate one. The cool thing about this is people can access it at any time. We're going to search for Live Easy. I just want to point out too, for all the people that attend my regular trainings, look, it's warm enough that I don't have a sweatshirt on this afternoon.
Have a
All
warm
right.
enough day, huh?
What?
Finally have a warm enough day to take the sweatshirt off.
It's a warm enough day to not freeze to death. All right. So this Live Easy program that we have access to through the Realty One group, it's one of those benefits. If there's a client, you have a client that's moving, you can invite that client to the Live Easy platform, and it will set them up with a moving concierge. So it'll help them with their, I was going to say appliances, their utilities. It'll help them with their utility setup, give them options for internet service providers, whatever that is. It'll help them with that process of moving. So it's kind of a cool feature there. It's free, so you can invite a moving client in. Super easy. We just plug in their information, new buyer or new seller. So you can do either of those. And then you can also upload your sphere of influence or input your other people who maybe aren't doing business currently. With that, we also have a vendor list. So if we come over here, we can go to our vendors. And you can add vendors to this list. And then you can see if somebody, I don't know, vendor usage, vendor impressions, view my vendors, but you can put it in there. So you can go in there and add vendors. So this is a great way to update that database. And then you can share this list with anybody that you put into this system. So it's kind of a cool feature that allows you to be able to do that. Okay, so just throwing that out there. You could have a spreadsheet. You could make it like a cool pub in like Canva. The problem with like doing something like Canva or something like that, or a spreadsheet, is that we just have to make sure, well, with anything, we have to make sure to update it. And the cool thing about if we're directing people to this website, number one, we can see if they've clicked on people. Number two, you can go in there and update that vendor's information, and then it automatically is dispersed to everybody that has the link to this list, versus if they've got a spreadsheet, now I've got to get them like a new spreadsheet. So just something to keep in mind, having it digital somehow could be a good option versus having like a printed copy. And you could print this every once in a while, like you could download it as a report. So that's something that you can utilize, but that's under the Live Easy. So it's a kind of a cool thing to play with there. Here's where you can choose your home pros and you can add people in there. So anyways, cool feature there.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. All right, back to our business. So I recommend, and no, there's no limit to what should be on a vendor list. Like I always recommend that you start with kind of like home related services. So like your handyman, your contractors, your window cleaners, your house cleaners, your carpet cleaners, your glass companies that might fix a broken window. Like think of a pool service companies, pool installers. So all those that are house related is a good place to start. And then you can slowly work your way out to like top favorite restaurants, hairstylists, dog groomers, dog boarding facilities. all sorts of things. There's no limit to what vendors can go on your vendor list. You want to be the area expert ultimately. And so by having a complete vendor list that's kept up to date, makes it really easy for you to be like, oh yeah, I've got dog groomers in the Fairfield area, or I've got dog groomers in the Dixon area. So it makes it really easy to be able to do that. So something to keep in mind there. So there's this script here for business owners that we've done business with. If you're like, man, I think that I should have gyms on there, and I don't go to a gym currently, so I should probably meet up with some owners and create a referral partnership with some gym owners. So then we might use this bottom script for creating referral partnership with business owners you've not done business with. And it is, hey, Michelle, I'm Amy with Realty One Group, and I'm in the process of creating a preferred business and service providers list to give to my clients. Since I frequently have clients ask me for the best gym in town, I'm looking for a trusted gym to refer them to. I've heard such good things about your gym. Would you and your business be interested in being included on that list? And if they're like, yeah, absolutely, which in most cases, again, people, even if you don't do business there already, they're gonna be like, yeah, that sounds great. Perfect. I like to establish these professional referral partnerships to help grow each other's businesses as well. So if I were to refer clients to you, would you be willing to refer clients that are looking to buy or sell a home to me with the assurance that I will provide them a high level of customer service that you expect? And they're gonna be like, yeah, that seems fair. Perfect. Great. How about we confirm each other's contact information so that we can get started? Right. So just a fun way. They're very similar, but one is for, relationships that maybe you don't have, and one is for referral partnerships that you do, although they are very similar. This one's I'm looking for a trusted company versus I only want trusted company. So that's really the only difference between the two scripts. And it's just a good way to create that referral partnership. Questions about that?
Yes, when you're exchanging information, is it a matter of giving them just your business card, or how do they? Because a lot of them are probably going to say, "Sure, I'll do that," but I'd like to maybe take another step in helping them to remember me. What do you suggest with that?
Yeah, so I would think, especially if it's like a physical business that has a shop or a physical office space or whatever, just picking up some of those like clear business card holders or some low profile business card holders and taking them with me and be like, perfect. Do you mind if I put out a couple business cards on your counter, and will you let me know when they're empty, right? And then maybe even sharing, like I have a app called, I don't know what it's called. It is called QR Me. And it's like, it's a QR code generator, and it creates a QR code. So when I open it up, I know it's going to be small because I'm sharing my screen, but it creates a QR code. And then if they scan that QR code, it takes them to their contacts list on their phone and opens up all of my contact information. So all they have to do is scroll to the bottom and hit save.
Oh, that's cool.
And now it's been saved. My contact's been saved to their phone as well. So I think having that, figuring out a way that you can get in front of their customers, as well as making sure that they have your contact information, because hopefully they would choose to do business with you in the future as well if they were going to buy or sell. And say that again.
I said, great. That sounds good.
Yeah, and something too that you may want to tweak the script a little bit for. It's kind of open-ended. It's non-obligatory at this point. And so I might change the second paragraph to something like, great, I like to establish these professional referral partnerships to help grow each other's businesses as well. So if I'm going to refer clients to you, would you be willing to at least refer one client to me a year that's looking to buy or sell a home? Number one, I'm asking them to commit to one, not just like, hey, will you refer people to me? Like, well, sure, I'll say yes, so I make it on her list, but there's no obligation there on my part. So you're obligating them to one. And if I've got 30 referral partners who have all committed to one, that also allows me to follow up and go back to be like, hey, Michelle, it's Amy again. Remember we talked a couple months ago? I wanted to check in and see how my cards were doing. Did we need more? And remember, you committed to referring at least one person who's looking to buy or sell a house this year. So have you come across anybody who's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Like, it gives me that freedom then to go and ask them about it. Right? So, hey, I got a referral from you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I hope you've been getting business from my referral list. I've sent it out to my 600 people in my database, right? So it just gives you that ability to be able to follow up.
Do you recommend asking the business if they already have a referral partnership with another realtor?
I probably wouldn't unless they bring it up.
Okay.
Yep. Some other fun things that you can do as well is you could create like a VIP group for those that are actually referring business to you. And you can say, hey, like my best practices for a realtor is to have 3 referral partners in each area. But just know that I'm gonna put you guys in order, because oftentimes, like if I've got 3 plumbers on there, that my client's going to call the first plumber on the list first and then work their way down if you don't answer your phone. And the way that you make it to that first position is the plumber that sends me the most referrals gets in that first spot, right? So you could always make it something like that as you continue that relationship and build that relationship. You could make it like, hey, person with the most referrals wins. They make it to the top, or they become my primary referral, or whatever it is. You could also feature those referral partners. So maybe once a week or once a month, depending on how many you have, you go and do like a Facebook Live interview with them. You talk to them about their business, what they do, who their ideal client is, what services they offer, and we interview them, because then you can turn that into a blog. You can turn it into, you've already got the Facebook Live. You can separate that out into other like reels and different things. So you could utilize that for a lot of other features to help build your presence in a lot of other ways. You could add it to your newsletter. If you're sending one out to your database, highlighting that customer, or that business. So there's a lot of ways to kind of incorporate that and build value. Make sense?
Yes.
Perfect. Something else that you could do with your business referral partners as well is if your lead gen method is business to business and you also are doing a farm as one of your methods of lead generation, or door knocking of some sort, you could always feature like one referral partner per month on like a coupon that you're handing out as you're door knocking. This was one of my mentees actually came up with this idea several years ago, and I thought it was brilliant, about like printing up business card size coupons. So going to like the local business, maybe it's a plumber. We'll just pick on plumbers tonight. So maybe you've got a plumber on your list and you're like, man, you guys do sewer lateral inspections, and I don't think that's something that people don't pay enough attention to until it's backed up. So what if we offered people like 50% off a sewer lateral inspection? Would you be good with that? Or what's your comfort level of offering, or a flat fee for it? And they might be like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Perfect. I could do sewer lateral inspections all day. It's way more fun to do an inspection than it is to go clear a clogged pipe. So you got to make sure they're on board with it, and then printing up on one side of the business card the coupon with the plumber's information and the percentage off, or whatever the deal is for whatever that service was. On the back side, you go presented by Amy Petard, Realty One Group Fox, with your tagline on there, here to help you buy and sell houses, whatever your tagline is. And then you go and drop that off for your whole farm, or wherever you're door knocking, or with your pop by of the month, or whatever that might be. And you might make it good for like a month, or you might make it good for like 2 or 3 months. With the idea that now people are going to hang on to that card with your information on it, because they're like, man, sewer lateral inspection. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that is pretty important. And that might be the message that you deliver as you're door knocking on doors. Like, hey, my name's Amy. I'm just coming around for my monthly visit to check in and see how things are going. In addition to that, I just wanted to mention to you that I've got a preferred vendor list. One of my preferred vendors is this plumber, ABC Plumbing, and they're offering a special for the next 30 days or 90 days, whatever that expiration period was. where they will come and do 50% off a sewer lateral inspection. And in case you didn't know why that's important, your sewer lateral line is the line that runs from your house to the street. And what happens oftentimes is that's the line that gets collapsed, or it has problems with roots. And if you can get to it and clear it out and solve the problem before it becomes a major issue, it's a lot less expensive. So we're just offering this to all the homeowners in this area this month, that you can call him up and he'll give you that special. Make sure you present this coupon, right? So now we've had a chance to educate our homeowner to prove that, hey, not only we're the area expert, but we're the expert with homes in general. We've got all these partnerships where we're offering you discounts. And now that referral partner is like, oh my gosh, I had 5, 6, 20 people call me for sewer lateral inspections. Thank you so much. That helped my business. And you can go back and be like, absolutely, I really appreciate you referring people to me as well. Maybe that's who you feature, is those that are referring. Maybe that gives you the opportunity to be like, perfect. So who else do you know that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? I'd really love to help you, or have you help me build my business as well, right? So it just gives you that in to be able to do so. So just some fun ideas to think about the business to business relationship and how to add value to the business so that they want to add value to your business as well.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, cool. So that's really it. There's no limits again to it. You can start with the businesses, you can, if you run out of businesses, you can start with house related businesses, and then go from there. Think of anything house related, and then, work your way out from there and make it basically anything in the community. As you grow those lists, you might make them community specific. And then, just making sure that you're doing something that adds value to the business owner besides just putting them on a list, so that you have the continued ability to regularly reach out to them. And if business to business relationships are part of that referral plan, then these business owners, remember we traded contact information, those business owners, you want their personal contact information, as well as what's the best way for a client to reach out to you if they need your service, right? And we collected their personal information so we can add them to our database. And now they're part of that database touch plan, so that we should be calling them at the minimum once a quarter and checking in with them. They should be getting our newsletter on a monthly basis that we're sending out either in the mail or via email. They should be, if they're a homeowner, you've got their home address, they should be getting the monthly market update that you can send out for free through Real Scout. I was like, I can't think of the name.
I'm not the only one.
What?
I'm not the only one that can't remember the names of all the trainings or the places in there.
All the tools? No.
Yes.
Right. So they can be getting that monthly market update. They're added to that list. So they're getting invited to events or activities. Not only that, but now you've got this list of vendors that want to build their business. So when we have an event or activity, maybe we want to host like a movie night or something. Now we can reach out to our vendors and say, hey, I'm looking for a couple of co-sponsors for my movie night. Who would like to be a co-sponsor? Your business will be featured. You'll have a moment to go up and talk in front of everybody who shows up about your business. And here's the investment level expected or whatever, and figure out what your budget is for that event. Maybe break it up into, if we have 3 vendors, each one pays $100, that's $300. That was the whole cost of the event. Now it's not costing you anything. They're getting featured, and then you've become the hero. Dun, da, da, da.
Put my cape on.
Right? And now I just made those events free for you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other questions before we wrap up this evening?
No, I think that'll do it. It's nice to have another, another idea, another marketing idea in my back pocket to use. Yeah, so I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Next week, let's see what's next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we're talking about events. So those events that I just mentioned and getting your vendors to pay for them, we'll talk about how we utilize those
Okay, that'd be
to
fun.
grow our business.
All right. Sounds good.
Perfect. Well, thanks for joining me this evening, Michelle. I appreciate your commitment.
Yes, thank you for your time.
Absolutely. And we'll see you next week.
Okay, sounds
All
good.
right.
Bye-bye.
Perfect.
Have a
Talk to you
good
soon.
night. Okay,
You
bye-bye.
too.